As usual, I'm starting out with my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot and applying that onto the eyelid all the way up to the brow with a Sigma P86 brush. And you guys know the drill. As usual, I do have a Sigma Beauty discount code down below if you want to save some money on them. And here I'm just taking an eyeshadow that matches my skin with a Sigma E35 brush just to get rid of any tackiness of the primer, because if the primer is too tacky when we go to blend out shadows, it's going to be a lot more work. So setting it ahead of time just makes it easier. So now I'm taking this eyeshadow palette from Morphe. This is the 35T palette. And I'm taking this dark brown on the bottom row with a Morphe M326 brush. And here I'm just defining the shape of the cut crease. And I wanted to change the shape a little bit because I took it down a little bit too low. So I'm taking this Anastasia Pro pencil, and I believe Base 1 is the shade. It's technically an eyeshadow primer, but you can just use like the Soft Ochre paint pot or whatever primer you're using just to clean up the edges. But I like the applicator for this, or shape of this, because it's really easy for cleaning up like eyeshadow or brows, and I really like it. So with cut crease looks, it's all about finding what shape works best for your eyes. I really alternate the shape that I do. Sometimes I'll do more of like a cat eye shape. Right now, for example, I'm making the inner corner of the eye a lot higher. That way when my eyes are open, you still see a lot more of that glitter. So what I'm doing now is taking this like light brown shade from the palette and a Morphe, what is it called, M433 brush, and I'm using that to start our crease color. So we're going to start lighter and go darker, and it's going to make it blend a lot easier. So I'm taking a little bit darker of a brown on that same brush, and this I'm keeping the color a little bit lower to the line as opposed to the lighter shade we took up higher to the brow. So each time you get darker with your shades, you want to keep lower to that line we initially created. So as you can see, doing that line first just makes it a lot easier because you can kind of see what the look's going to look like, if that makes sense. So now I'm taking a Sigma E30 brush and that same dark brown we began with, and I'm just going to blend out that line a little bit more. So as you can see, my colors have gotten darker, my brushes have gotten smaller, and my movements have gotten smaller. And then to blend that out, I'm going back in with that M433 brush with no additional product just to blend it out, especially on the inner line. I don't want that to be such a very, very harsh line. And like I've said, don't worry too much about making that line very sharp. We go back in and clean it up. So I wanted to take a black shadow just because I want to darken up a little bit more. This one is from the Tartelette palette, if you're wondering, but any black shadow will do. And I'm taking that same M326 brush and just darkening that up, and then go back in with the M433 and blend it out once again with no additional product. So looks like this are very time consuming and very tedious. You just need to go back in, add some color, blend, add some color, blend. It's kind of, again, time consuming. So as you can see, I'm just darkening it up and then going back in and blending. And you can see right here, I'm very heavily blending out the inner corner because, like I said, I want that to be very faded and not have a harsh line. So now I'm going back in with that Pro pencil from Anastasia, and this is where we're going to create this shape. Like I said, you can go with concealer, you can go with any other like paint pots or whatever, just something that you can carve out the shape. And this, if you made any mistakes, honestly, it'll clean it up. So don't stress too much with cut creases because you can always sharpen up the edges. And then I'm also going in with a MAC 242 brush and just blending that out so it is very seamless. And with looks like this, you can do anything for the lid. I'm taking some gold shades from the palette. One's a little bit darker than the other, so I'm starting out with the light shade with a Sigma E57 brush. You can see how heavily pigmented the shimmery shades are in the palette. I did not spray my brush with Fix Plus or anything. It's just that pigmented. So I'm taking that same brush and that darker gold, and as you can see, I'm putting that on the outer corner. And you want to make sure to blend them together. One tip that I have is have one side with the darker color, one side with the lighter color, and you can just keep flipping your brush back and forth to blend the colors together. And you want to make sure that line is as close to that dark line as possible. So now I'm going to do a winged eyeliner. I've showed this several times. I'm using my Sigma E06 brush, which is my holy grail, and my Anastasia cream color in Jet, which is again my holy grail. And another thing, I'm doing the eyeliner before the glitter, because if you apply glitter and then try to put eyeliner over top of it, it's Very hard to do. It gets very chunky and difficult, so sometimes looks like this, it's easier just to do the liner first. So basically that's what I do for my eyeliner. I went off camera and just perfected any lines. It looks a little crazy without lashes, but I promise it'll come together in the end. So now I'm taking one of my favorite glitters that I have been using non-stop recently. This is by Urban Decay. It's the Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in Midnight Cowboy, I'm going to say. And I'm focusing this mostly on the inner half of the eye, not so much on the outer half. And I'm taking that little brush and just going right along the edges of the dark line just to make sure, again, it is very sharp and precise. Now for my lashes, I'm using my Holy Grails, which are the House of Lashes Iconic. They just make the biggest difference. I would say if you aren't going to do lashes, maybe not do your wing as big, but I always do lashes, so yeah. But without lashes, it kind of looks funny. So off camera, I applied a brown eyeliner to my waterline and smudged it into my lashes. I forgot to record that. So I'm taking that M326 brush again, and that dark brown, just blending that out. Now I'm taking this color from the palette. It kind of reminds me of MAC Club eyeshadow, but a little bit more red and less of that like bluey reflect. So it has a lot of red in it, so I really liked it for the lower lash line. You guys know I like to take my colors down pretty far, but you definitely don't have to do this. And I'm taking that M433 brush again. So I'm again doing the same thing we did on the top. Add the color, blend it out, add some more color. So for my inner corner, I'm taking that same M433 brush and this pinky color. I didn't like it on its own, so I took that light gold we used on the inner half of the lid and just placed that over top. And once you've done that, just apply mascara to your bottom lashes and the look is completed. I really hope you guys like it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and follow me on all of my social media, which is always listed down below. And if you have any video requests, just also leave them down below. Thanks guys, bye.